Been on it way more than anyone, eh?
It's your show.
Yeah, I might have to take over, Dave.
There's no might about it. All right, cool. I got a little intro for you, so bear with me. I'll see if I can get through it.
It's no worries.
All right, the lineup is back, and we have nothing short of a lineup pod all-star with us today. He's back for the 5th time. I had to look this up. We started in May 2021. He hails from Western Australia. He has been in the global surfing limelight since before he was a teenager. And he's not only delivered on, but he has eclipsed the hype surrounding him. Multiple CT event wins to his name, an Olympic medalist, and one of Australia's leading contenders for the men's world title amongst the global elite. Ladies and gentlemen, with us today, we've got Jack Robinson. Robbo, thanks so much for coming back on the lineup.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Stoked to be back.
Man. And yeah, we were joking before the pod. I'm like, 5 times. I feel like you've done this show more than I have, but you are the consummate professional. Where are you today, man? Because we're catching you in between a bit of work stuff, and you're on your way to Tahiti. So tell me what you've been up to.
Yeah, I've been nonstop. It's busy. You know how it is. It doesn't stop, especially with the family. I'm at home right now. I'm going to head off to Tahiti later tonight, and I think I've been in about 3 or 4 different countries in the last 10 days. I can't even remember. I don't even know what day it is, but I'm stoked to get to do it. You know, this is the time of my life where I get to do this, so make the most of it.
It's really interesting. You know, surfing, I remember talking to Ryan Callanan about this a long time ago, and he was talking about it through the prism of managing injury, and he's like, we're so lucky we get to surf, and it's so fun that it's almost impossible to say no to. Like, it's like you don't want to say no to another wave or another trip or another event because it's all so fun. And I'm curious with you, it's like, as you said, it's like, this is a window in my life. I want to take opportunity and advantage of that opportunity. But how do you balance that out, I guess, with all the other stuff you got going on?
Yeah, you try. I just try to manage my time. I really feel like now, as I get older, like the time you have, that's really all you have. You got to be really careful with it. And I think, I don't know, like after doing it for quite a long time and competing, I just did a boat trip to the Mentawais. I just had a trip with Leo and Kanoa, and we were out there away from everybody, disconnected, and we just went and surfed for fun. Even some sessions just went unfilmed, just because, even though we had heaps of films and stuff, but we were like, let's just surf for fun, because that's why we got into it. That's you know, where the love for it came from. And I just you know, try to enjoy it more instead of being so fixated on winning lately. And you know, you can get fixated on that pretty easily. So just doing it for myself and doing it, you know, because I love it again. So that's good. And we're going to some good events. So I'm pretty excited for this next run.
For sure. And it's great to hear about that trip too, you know, and it's one of those things where, you know, in my day job strategy at the WSL, it's like, I think over the years, people sometimes try to get really siloed in, like, there's one way to present professional surfing and it has to be like this. But I always think of it like it's the sum of all the parts. Like, if we get to see great free surfing from the world's best surfers, and then they get to go in the event and feel comfortable to surf their best, like, we've done our job right. And I always think back to the Andy Kelly stuff of, like, when I was like an AI kid, it's like, yeah, I want to watch him in Snap 2, and then I want to watch him, you know, beat Kelly's brains in out in Japan in the CT. It's all gravy, you know, like, it's all one thing to me. And I think that seems like where, like, surfers of your particular level of skill and talent and ability are often the most comfortable, right? When you're having fun doing both. Yeah,
we are. We're the most comfortable when we're just having fun and just, I don't know, you're just not really thinking about anything else. You're bringing your free surf into the heat, and you know, sometimes the competing, it's, you know, it's not always fun, but it's, you know, you got to get through. But then, you know, it just depends. It's, you know, the moment, you know, where it is and what event we're at, or, you know, sometimes you just make yourself enjoy it too. Like, that's that part you get used to. That's the discipline of it. So
that's the relatable part for non-professional surfers. It's like there's part of it that's a job, and sometimes you got to go through that. And it's interesting too because we're coming out of this kind of mid-season break. We've been off for a few weeks. We're coming up on a pretty fun run of events, and looking at your year too. And it's one of those things where it's like you go back, you dive into the results, and it's like Jack's been surfing great, and he's got some pretty good results. But it's one of those things where it's like everyone on tour is so good. You know, Bells. There's a couple of consistencies in some of your opponents. You know, it's like 17th, lost to Sammy Pupo, WA, 9th, Medina, 9th on the Gold Coast to Leo, 9th to Miguel Pupo in New Zealand, 9th to Medina in El Salvador, and then 9th again to Sammy in Rio. So my guess is that the Pupo family and the Medinas probably aren't getting Christmas cards from you at this point. But coming into Tahiti, even before you were on tour, you were regarded one of the world's best at that spot. You're the defending event winner there. I guess kind of like playing off what you're talking about and what you're doing in this mid-season break, do you feel extra pressure being the defending event winner, or are you just so comfortable at a place like Teahupo'o that you're kind of the surfing really takes over?
Well, I think at this point now, it feels like I'm restarting the year a little bit because I had a lot of changes at the start of the year. I changed my coach. I changed my boards. I had surgery, and those things are all past me now. I'm all, I made those decisions. It's on me. So, it takes a little while for everything to translate, and then, everyone has a time, So it's, just a matter of time. It's, everything feels great, but. There is no real expectation now. I've just been really reading a lot and been on a really good program up early every day, and I've just been really thinking like, there is no expectation, because if the preparation's there, then everything else, usually it translates. So just sticking to my basics and getting ready for another beautiful event. And I'm blessed to go and do another event there. I'm so happy. So let's go.
It's a beautiful place, and we can't wait to watch you there. And I'm glad you brought up the prep thing too, because we mentioned defending event winner there. You're heading there. You mentioned tonight. What for you? I'm not sure if this is the same as it's been at every event, but let's just talk Tahiti. What do the next 8 days look like for you? Do you try to surf as much as possible? Is it more about making sure your body is physically prepared? Is it a mental thing? Walk the audience through, between now and round one, what is Jack Robinson doing at the end of the road?
Yeah, well, the work has already been done. It's, you prepare all year for these moments. You rely on a lot of experience, I think, when you go back to a place so many times, and just reading the ocean and doing that. But the hard thing is probably for athletes, or just people in general, you always think we should be doing more, and it's like, oh, is it enough? Is it enough? And I sort of had that problem the last years. I'm like, all right, I'm just like pushing it more and more and more. So I'm like, where's the balance? So it's you just got to be really aware of your body and kind of overtraining. It's hard for me sometimes.
It makes sense. And I think you and I have talked about this before too, because there's a little bit of having to let go of the control aspect of your sport with surfing, or a lot of it, just because the ocean plays such a huge role where, if you play football or basketball or soccer or whatever it is, it's like, there are things you can do where it's like, I can train my body to the maximum. I know I'm the biggest, fastest, strongest. I'm the most talented, and I've given myself the best opportunity to beat everybody. You can do all that in surfing, and the ocean still often, if not always, has the final say.
Yeah, it does. It does. And at that point, it's more mental, because it's just how you connect to that, how you connect to yourself to then connect to what's around you. And sometimes you just can't overthink it. It's just we just got to get out of our own way sometimes. I felt like, I was overthinking a few things at the start of the year, just because I was so antsy and eager to come back. I was just so excited. But, we all should just be focused on what we're doing. And sometimes you just...
I'm curious. Yeah. And I'm curious with someone like you, because you're such a high performing, outside of surfing, just like human being, but because of your status in surfing and let's just face it, like, you're a very popular surfer. A lot of people want to see you surf your best. Do you feel external pressures, or do you think it's for you, it's mostly just sort of self-imposed?
I think it's self-imposed because you sometimes try to prove people something. And,
right.
you know, like I felt like that as a kid when I was growing up a lot. And then now it kind of came to me a little bit this year. I want to like prove all these good things, you know, like to people. I want to win for everyone. I want to win. But it comes back to like, who are we doing it for? Why are we doing this? So I've just been really thinking about that. Like, it's not about, you know, proving anything to anyone. You just have to keep telling yourself that, because it's on you, you know? So, that's, people can enjoy it, but it's even people close, you know, around you, they can tell you everything, and you can go out there but it's on you at the end of the day when you're in the water. So it doesn't really matter what anyone says at that point. It's how you take it on board. Yeah.
You know, the event, it's the Outerknown Tahiti Pro presented by IC Sunglasses. They're one of your sponsors. They're one of the WSL sponsors. Joey and Allison, the whole crew there, it's like just really great people. And, you know, you have a signature line of sunnies are coming out very soon, if they're not already out by the time this airs. And not only do your pair, I've been looking at them all day in HB, they look badass. They're reasonably priced, but your signature glasses, they're also part of the CPR series made of 100% recycled plastic. So much of it goes back into supporting ocean ecology, et cetera. I mean, that has to feel nice, because there's certain things you do and it's like, yep, this has got a high price point, or this is ticking that box, but this is kind of everything. Looks good. A lot of people can access them, and it's helping the planet.
Yeah, I'm super stoked to be working with IC and Joey and Allison. They're it's like family. Like, you sometimes don't really feel like you're at work when you go to the office. You're like, we're looking at sunnies and we're playing around, and I think that's the best when you have like sponsors like this, that you go there and you're so excited like to be there and just be around the people and work with them. And like me and Joey, we go fishing and stuff on his boat, and Cole as well. When I was in California at the start of the year, we went out fishing on his boat, and I know that's what it's about. That's, you know, it's like when I was growing up, where I come from, you know, I love doing those things, and just connecting with people. I feel like they connect with people really well, and the brand's doing really well. So really happy to partner with them and bring out my new sunglass. Can't wait for everyone to get it.
I don't even work for them. I like going to the office. So it's a great brand. Sunnies look good. We're gonna take a quick break to get a word in from our sponsors, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. This episode of The Lineup is brought to you by IC Sunglasses, the official sunglass of the World Surf League. Whether you're watching from the beach, checking the surf at sunrise, or chasing waves of your own, IC designs premium eyewear that performs in and around the water at an affordable price. Every pair features 100% UV protection, polarized lens options to cut glare, and styles built for everything from long beach days to everyday wear. Looking for something even more sustainable? Check out the IC CPR series made with Eastman Triton Renew and designed around the idea of breathing life back into our oceans, communities, and the places we play. As a proud partner of the WSL, IC is stoked to support the athletes, events, and fans who make surfing what it is. Head to i-c.com to shop the latest collection, including signature styles from some of your favorite surfers, and follow @IC Sunglasses on social media to stay up to date on new releases. Welcome back to The Lineup. I am Dave Fredden here with the Jack Robinson. Robbo, we joked about you being a lineup all-star, and I said, man, you come on 5 times. This is your show now, so I can clock off. But the point being, you've articulated your bio background so very well, not only on this podcast, but in a lot of places. So we're not going to rehash that today. I think everyone should go back and listen to your former episodes. But since we've ticked that box, I had a couple of questions that were maybe just a little bit more existential. We can kind of play with the space. I'm curious to see how you feel about them. But here we go. I mean, I didn't plan on this, but you kind of took us there already. Has competition, in your opinion, made you a better surfer or just a better competitor? Better under pressure, I think. Just like when you have to pull something out of the bag, like
out of the bag of tricks. You have to go into the toolbox and you have to like pull something out, because that's what a time limit does to you. I think like there's a certain point you have to you see the scores going down and you want to conform to the criteria, and then there's the criteria. But then there's also the time when like you don't really think about that. You just like if you need a score or something, I feel like you got to dig into the bag of tricks. Like you see it with guys on tour like Yago and all these guys, like
right.
they can always go to that. And I feel like I see it all the time when you watch other contests and you watch other guys competing. It's a totally different ballgame. The tour is a different pressure, a different beast, because what pressure does to people changes people. And I think that's the biggest one for me, honestly. Yeah,
it's a really good insight too. And I mean, we can kind of debate the details of the structure of a world tour, but you could almost say too, like any situation where you're getting that level of surfers in one place, it pushes everybody. And it kind of like people talk about like, well, you have to be so sharp all the time because that's just the level on tour. And it strikes me as really interesting. And like, you're obviously a really focused guy. And I'm curious, like, aside from the low level FOMO that I think most surfers feel when they see kind of people around the world scoring, I'm wondering for you, have there ever been like sustained windows over the years where, you've either been on tour preparing for an event where you think, man, I wonder what it would feel like to take my career in like a different direction, maybe not, but I'm curious if there's like, a window where you're like, maybe I should do free surfing, even maybe before you qualified. I don't know if it ever happened for you.
Maybe before I qualified a little bit, sort of thought about it. But I think that was when I was younger, maybe just when you're just surfing just for fun and you're kind of not really thinking about it. I remember when John and everyone would come to West Oz and they'd all be filming their parts and I'd surf with them. And sometimes we'd be filming and be like, oh, this is so fun. Like, don't want to do anything else. But then once you get a taste of the tour, and I think it's for some people and it's not for some, so it's
right.
It's just what you prefer, but it's for me for sure. I love it.
Yeah, I remember talking to John about this. It was actually in the context of finals like years ago. And he said something I thought was pretty profound because he was like, had done pretty well sponsorship wise, lifestyle wise, like family wise, John, everything's coming up, John.
Sure.
And he said something about like, at the end of the day, being in the live arena against people like Jack, and he brought you up, and against people like Gabe and people who I consider the best, and then seeing what I'm made of, and hopefully in pumping waves, because you don't always get it, but he goes, when you do, he's like, to me, that's like the most valuable, outside of my family, like the most valuable thing I can feel and experience. Because he's like, when I'm 100, I'm not going to remember like I got an extra sticker and an extra 50 grand, but I will remember like I surfed pumping Tahiti against Jack, and maybe he got me, maybe I got him, but like I felt something, and I thought that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, yeah. Because I remember the heat at the Olympics we had together. Just those moments that brings it to mind, and it was whoever. Like we both got flogged on like I went down the first one, I got flogged, and then he got flogged on the next one. We both weren't making any waves, and it was like testing our stamina, testing like the spirit, because whoever got back out there first on the jet ski, we were both like racing for each other. And we both got back into the lineup, and whoever got back in first was going to win. And I got back in first, and I'm like, man, like, and I had to keep it together, like in that moment, because it was so crucial. Like he could take it, as well. And I don't know, they're the moments you live for, I reckon, because you push your body to the max, and that's what you remember. It's just, I don't know, you feel alive. It's like, it's a different feeling. It's different than anything else.
I mean, if stories are currency, you guys will be like the richest old dudes in the WSL retirement home. Yeah, like, remember? And all of us will be like, yeah, that was great.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and just all the heats you surf against, when I was coming on as well, and against Kelly and all these memories that you have, and Gabriel and Griffin, all the stories. It's just, doesn't get any better. I love it. Yeah.
You touched on this a little bit earlier, but when you're out surfing, whether it's, competing against the world's best on tour or pushing the boundaries free surfing, how do I word this? Are you intentionally trying to focus on one thing or focus on like a feeling you get from your own surfing? And I mean, I don't even know what answer I'm looking for, but I'm curious if you have like something in your brain where you're like, this is the feeling I want and how I know that I'm where I need to be.
Yeah, it's funny. I like in general when we're competing at the contests. I mean, it's like when we're preparing in the free surfs. It's not always the funnest free surf, so it's like everyone's kind of battling,
Sure.
But I think, I mean, it sometimes becomes a little complacent. Like the free surf, you're just going through the motions, just feeling things out. But I don't know. You try to create and just imagine. I think as well, because you can't let that part. Like it is good fun as well. Like the play, like that's you're playing, you're having fun. Like it's as much as what it's a job. I try and like be like little Jack again. Like when I was enjoying it. Like I try to bring that always. I've been trying to remind myself that lately a lot. Like bring the little Jack, because the little Jack is like throwing big airs, right. Just just enjoying it, man. That's what it's. I've been trying to do that lately because I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself. So I felt like I needed to do that a lot.
When you think back to Little Jack, like, do you remember like what like? Was there like one thought in your brain when you were that? Was it like Ricky Bobby, like I want to go fast kind of thing, or was I'm curious if it was like what was it when you were a kid where you're like, man, that's what kind of gets my motor going a little bit.
Oh yeah, it was Little Jack. He would just be excited to be able to surf, have a new board. I remember the first day I got a new board and then getting a new set of fins, or just be the most simple thing ever, And now I get as many boards as I want, and I'm like, and then you're winning all these contests, or you're doing all these things, and I don't know, you're just going through the motions a bit sometimes. So I try to like just bring it back a bit and try and put it into reality, like look where you're at, So it's because it's really special what we do. So that's that's kind of the job part of it, and trying to balance it, I think. So, yeah.
Man, I think that's really well articulated too, right? Because it's like when your personal passion is also your profession, you're like, I nailed it. I get to spend all my time doing the thing I like. But it's hard when you blur those lines sometimes too, where you're like, like, am I being too passionate in my profession? Am I being too professional with my passion? Like it can be really tricky. And I mean, Matt Archie, he came on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him if he had ever had an experience where maybe things in his life outside the water were falling apart, as he's been very candid about, but maybe he was surfing really well. And I really appreciated what he said. He was super direct, and he goes, I have never felt like I have surfed well when things outside the water were not going well. And as I said, I really appreciated the answer. I don't think either he or I think that that's the same for everybody, but I'm curious if what your answer to that question would be, do you ever feel like you've been surfing really well if things kind of outside the water weren't going so great?
Maybe for a certain period of time, but I don't think it lasts forever, because you're just kind of in a fight or flight, trying to perform and just pushing yourself as much as you can. And yeah, it depends, because it's just the weight on your shoulders. I think it's, it'll push you to a certain point and you can do it for a while, but then, it's crazy how if things aren't good outside the water, then usually, for me at least, it's, we're always dealing with stuff, but it's, you're trying to, I don't know.
I know what you mean. I mean, it's interesting too, right? Because whether you're a surfer on tour or just a surfer in general, I think a real commonality is that so many of us have found comfort in the ocean because of things that were happening on land, and that varies, right? And so it's one of those things too where the ocean kind of becomes a surrogate parent. And it's like, yeah, things go really well there, and it's balancing out the other parts of my life. But as you said, over time, lives evolve and get more complicated, and you kind of have to have a little more agency in how you balance that out, for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's a safe place, huh? Like a safe haven.
Yeah, sure.
It makes you feel good, and it's best place in the world. But it's I think it's I'm trying to find the word for it. It's like, yeah, I mean now I remember just the pressure when I was growing up. I just wanted to go in the water. I just wanted to escape. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just want to just get out there and surf. And yeah, it's kind of like the same thing now. I just love being in the water. It's like I'd rather just get off land and not talk to anyone and go surf, Sure. So I guess it's a little bit the same, but yeah, I think the ocean does make you better. We're lucky to have it. So yeah.
I agree. And it can kind of be both things too, right? It could be like, hey, that part is always there, but yeah, as you said, it's like sometimes that part's fleeting if I can't get it together. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. Is there something in your brain about surfing that everyone says is important, but you kind of think is maybe overrated?
Everyone says is important in surfing, just in general.
Yeah, just in general. It could be anything. It could be like the profession or like this part of the act or whatever.
I mean, it's art, huh? It's a manifestation of your mind. Like it's what you want it to be and see it as you see it, So I think that's what makes each person unique. I've sort of come to the point now where I'm like, yeah, it's you grow up thinking some things are important, or you got to perform to something or to what someone says, and now I'm just like, well, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I just enjoy surfing for what it is. It's I love getting to go to these events and being on tour and just pushing myself, pushing my limits. I think it's all personal, eh? Like people, what they think is important, It's just go surf, If I was a Grom, that's what I did to get good and to be where I'm at today. Is just surf so much and put so many hours in, and ended up here. So it's a lot of work, but it's also just putting the time in. I think that's the important thing. If you want to be successful at it or whatever, or if you just want to do it, it gives us everything, the ocean. So I'm just like, that's my view on it now. I'm like, doesn't really matter what everyone thinks is important.
Well, and it kind of goes, you said that really well again, but you said it earlier too, where it's like, zeroing in on the simplest part of this activity has brought me the most joy. And it's kind of like, and I'd say this too, as someone who, let's face it, has not been a professional surfer like Jack Robinson. It seems to me that like, that's a pretty common thing for humans everywhere, where it's like, man, you grow up and things get a little more complicated and you do your best to simplify and balance it out,
That's what happens. I think that's what happens because, like sometimes when you have a family or you have something, maybe, I don't know, maybe you get something like a promotion or something, maybe with a job, or you think you have to do extra or more and you have to do all this, especially with me, when the first year Zen was born, I think, I have to do more. I got to do way more than what I'm doing. And I'm like, man, maybe I don't have to do more. Like, just do what I'm doing. This got me here already, and maybe just adjusting a few things because, I think that's kind of it's simplifying it as I get more experienced. I think that's a big one.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, same. I'm trying to tell myself this before going to the next event. I'm going, just life in general. There's so many, like, that's what I find too. If I'm like scrolling on Instagram or doing these things, it like spins me out as well. I like,
oh yeah.
That's a rabbit hole.
That's not unique to pro surfing. That's no good for anybody.
That's no good, is it?
Yeah. It must spin you out a little bit too, right? Like what's the Bane quote from Batman is like, victory's defeated you and you're far from being defeated. But it must be something where it's like the simple thing when I was a kid is I just wanted to go surf all day, every day. And you probably never ever thought that it would like, that got me a house and a beautiful family and this career and I'm world famous. And it's like, that was never part of the equation when you started. And now it is, and it's definitely going to stay part of the equation. So you're like, well, getting there, as you said, it's like, I have to adjust a few things, but like, it wasn't broken getting here and I've succeeded. It must be like, it must be a total spin out.
Yeah, it's a spin out, eh? It's a spin out too, because you don't realize, like when you're a little kid, you, like say, I remember being on the beach at Taj's contest and going up to Taj and like being in awe at Taj. And then as I got older and I was like, oh yeah, it's just normal, you know, see Taj around, and Taj is now retired and now I'm on tour. Now it's my turn. But I'm like, I see little kids now and they come up to me and they have that same look in the eye, I feel like. But I sort of don't really know how much it means to them, and I just kind of like, oh, you know, I'm nice to them, I'm cool, I'm kind, and they go off feeling really good. But that's a nice feeling too, because this you know thing that you did as a little kid, and looking up to guys like that, and then you know him giving me the inspiration, and now I can pass it on and give the inspiration to these kids. That's a good feeling too. So I you know, it's try to look at it ways like that, you know, like you know, as well. But it's a trip too, because it's it gives you like a power to inspire kids, or you can use your power, you know, in certain ways. I guess it's in a way, it's like surfing gives you this, you know.
That makes sense. I mean, I would say this as an objective observer, like you already have inspired all these kids, you know. And I think what you're getting at too is kind of the self-awareness that you have the power, and then. I think for a lot of people in your position, they end up going like, well, do I have to like actively think about how I use it? Where it's like, no, you've already done the work.
Yeah,
just by being yourself, you know, like they're inspired because of who you are, and like outside the water too. So I think you're killing it, buddy.
They're inspired for you just being you. That's the thing. Like even yesterday I had some interviews and stuff I was doing for a sponsor, and I was like trying to sell the thing, like, almost a little bit to the camera, and I'm going, and I'm going, you know what? I'm over it. I'm just going to talk as if I'm talking to someone, because that's why they're going to do it, because of me being me. And if they want to do it, if you're keen to do it, come and do it with me. If not, then sweet, you don't have to do it. It's all good. Like,
And everyone these days is so savvy that it's like, that's not what Jack actually sounds like. Why is he talking this way? And it's like, I feel you, man. I feel you.
Yeah.
That's why we keep inviting you back on the podcast, because you're natural.
Yeah, you love having me here, eh? Nah, it's good.
The best.
Yeah.
We're going to take one more break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap up our conversation with Jack Robinson and bid him adieu to Tahiti. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the lineup. I'm Dave Prodent here with Jack Robinson. Jack, you mentioned at the start of the podcast that there were a lot of changes at the start of the year, right? You had a surgery. I remember we had Joel Parkinson on first episode of the year, and I could not get him to stop talking about how excited he was to have you on the JS program. I'm like, look, I said, Jack is on most of the episodes of the lineup. Let's just calm down for a second. But, you know, you talked about some coaching stuff. Walk us through, I guess, what happened, like what those decisions were like at the start of the year, and kind of where you're at now mid-season.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw Joel's episode. That's super cool. We're always surfing together around here, and it's good vibes, Joel. But I think making the changes that we did. I mean, thinking about it, like being with Luke, and you know he worked with Joel, and then JS and that connection, and I'm so excited to get going and ride the boards and work with Luke and do everything. And like, I think we all are. But sometimes too, like I've been like competing like in a certain way, and you know I have my abilities too. But it's also like sometimes I can get a bit stubborn too. Like you get in your way a bit, and you sort of got to, for these new things to come in, like got to open your heart too as well, like to the new ways that. The way these guys work and the way everyone works, and just finding yourself with it. Because like sometimes like I'll get told something and then I'll go out and do the opposite in the water, and I'm like, I think it's just like it's just a bit stubborn, you know. So I just got to open my heart a little bit. And yeah, we were in Brazil, and it was like the bank out the front, and then I waved down, you know, like to the left, and Louis was like, "Hey, be aware of this, and like go down there if this happens." And then I stayed, and I went the opposite way, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just like, I'm being stubborn. So I think, yeah, just opening my heart as well to those new changes, you know, and seeing how they work, because there's a lot of experience there, and you know, there's a lot of knowledge. So I think that's just learning as a, you know, human being. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do they say? Like, you know, like world-class athletes need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's part of, like, for people like you that have had so much success early on, like you can't throw all that away because it demonstrably worked, right? And then, as you pointed out, like you get strong personalities, and there's some line I'm trying to think, it was a long time ago, and the guy was like, well, he was talking about like writing television shows. He's like, well, the way to do it is to find the smartest people you can that disagree with one another. He goes, it's uncomfortable because there's friction, but he's like, that's how you get the very best thing out of it. Like, it's not one side or the other that wins. Like they're both passionate. And I'm like, that's a really good way to think about things.
Yeah, it's true, because sometimes, even before with Leandro too, sometimes he would tell me some things and I would disagree in my mind, but I wouldn't say it. And then even with Luke, I disagree in my mind with some things. And I'm like, I don't know about that, but something's telling me, like, I don't know. It's funny. It's like it's the right thing to do, but then the second thought is it's doubting it. But then you got to like bring it back and go, hey, like he knows. And it's just learning each other too. I think, the ego tries to take over sometimes as well. That can take over as well. You can't let that get in the way.
Yeah, and that happens with like real, you know, and it's like I'm already competing against someone else. I don't need to start competing with my own coach in my head, you know, about like stuff. So it makes sense. And I mean, it sounds like with someone like Luke and his experience is like, that seems invaluable. Like, I mean, JS seems like he's more excited than I've ever experienced him in his life, just with the team this year, but certainly having you in the mix. And that seems like it's been a really fruitful relationship so far.
For sure. I think too, of his whole program, like after Joel, you know, there wasn't as many guys on tour, and then Julian, he was on, but then now, you know, it's different path, and then now getting Kanoa, and then me, you know, I think there's a lot of energy there, and he's really excited. Like he's in the shape and base so early, and I just like the connection we have going in there and working on stuff with him. You can go in there and we look at boards and we hang out, and we just did the boat trip together, and I don't know, it's just about the connection. I think, you know, all the shape is all really good, but if you have the connection with them, you know, it's different, because it's really personal. Like when you're riding a board, you know, he's made it, and then you're riding on a wave, and then you're like, there's three things. It's you, the board, and the ocean, and that's it. Like, so it's a lot about the connection and the energy between one another, and have a good connection. So stoked.
I love it. He's been hitting me up all day about like, I'm coming to Tahiti, I'm coming to Fiji. So it's exciting, man. And we are going to let you get out of here real quick. We did get a few questions from our friends on Instagram, followers at the Lineup Pod. So thanks to everyone who wrote questions in. And I guess it's a good segue, actually. The first question's from @_Mason_Gates_. That's a social media thing. Did you, Jack, try any other boards before transitioning to JS?
I tried everything. I rode them all. No, I have to, you know, because what did I ride? I was playing around a fair bit, and this was coming off Sharpeye. You know, it was at the time was really good, and then I remember I had some Merricks. I had a couple of DHs. What else did I have? There was some Mayhems. I actually had a bunch of Mayhems. Mayhems went pretty good. The Merricks went good. But yeah, there was, I think, I was a bit of a board slut, honestly. Yeah.
Hold on, but just as far as surfers go, that is a very like whomst amongst us wouldn't be like in your position. It's like at any level, it's like someone wants to give me a board.
Yeah,
go for it. Yeah.
Who wouldn't be? I mean, I just wanted to ride everything. I think you got to ride everything. It's healthy to ride them all because then you get the knowledge. But the only time where I think it can become a bit of a problem and it can become confusing is when you're on tour and.
Sure.
If you got too many things in the mix, if you have maybe if you have a few in the mix, a couple. I don't know. Gabriel has a couple in the mix right now. It seems like he's flirting with them all. Like it's kind of.
Sure.
It just depends. I don't know for me, it throws me out a bit. Riding, all the boards, especially when I was trying. Because even in the off season, before I got on JS, I was trying all these boards, and I was like, no. It was obvious though in my mind who it was going to be, and Jace, being next door, we live really close to each other, being on the Goldie and surfing with Joel and all the guys all the time. It was obvious, but I just remember being on tour before, and I was thinking about other boards, and it kind of threw me off. I was like, hey, just stay focused on what you're doing because that can kind of get in the way. But each to their own, yeah. So
I like it. Next question is from @Alexandria Stiegler. Oh, I like this question. What's the most recent time you've been scared surfing?
Oh, a bit earlier today. I thought I seen this black shadow. I thought it was a shark. I was like, oh, that's a bit weird. It's coming towards me, and then it was just a piece of sand, like getting pushed. And it looked like a shadow. But probably recently, probably sharks. Yeah. We've had a bit going on over here, but that's about it.
They scare me. That's fair. Last question from @AC Condon, who asks, are you strong and healthy and hungry as ever heading into Tahiti?
Well, that's obvious. Yeah, for sure. Yes, I am. But I think, probably just he wants to know, like how am I? I mean, I think, I'm as good as I can be. I mean, it's been 8 months of all the stuff I've put behind me, and now, just focus on my performance. So, yes. The answer is yes. Yep.
Great. Yeah, we didn't really talk too much about the surgery stuff, but it sounds like you're through that, and it's, you'd consider yourself upper 90% health-wise, if not 100.
Yeah, I consider myself 100% now because it's been
awesome
9 months, and I mean, there's certain changes though because I went through the injury for 3 years. I had it for 3 years, and I feel like my body adjusted to it and sort of like performed with it,
and kind of compensated in other areas maybe, and
compensated. And then it was interesting because once I did the surgery, then I came back and then I'm jumping on new boards, and I'm like. Okay, I'm adjusting again. Like my stance got a bit narrower, I felt like. And I kind of I wasn't as front footed because before, I don't know, I got this like left leg really strong because of the injury. And then now I'm like more strong on my right again. And I'm like, okay, I'm like standing on the tail more. I'm pushing from my tail instead of trying to generate speed always and like being a bit more front footed. So there's some adjustments. Your body kind of like balances out again, and that's probably, changing that in my mind is hard.
I mean, as a card-carrying member of the Right Foot Forward Club, you could consider switching stances and joining the Goofy Footers.
Well, maybe a leg strength thing. Maybe my son will. He's ambidextrous, I think. He goes goofy really? As well. Yeah, so hopefully he does. Yeah,
that's good. You guys could split waves that way. That's kind of nice.
I can't wait. I can't wait till he can drive a jet ski and step me off. I did a step off with him the other day, actually. He did a step off, so I was pretty stoked with that. Yeah, I had him on my board, and I put him on the foamy, and then Bemmy was driving, actually, and Bemmy goes, do you want to step? He watched me on a couple. Like, he was staying on the jet ski with Bemmy for the first two, and then I was like, do you want to come, Zen? Bemmy's like, yeah, let's get him. Let's go. And I was like, all right. So I had him under my arms, and I stepped off of him on the board, and I didn't post the clip, but we got the wave all the way to the shore, and he goes, again. I'm like, no way. I think that's the youngest 2-year-old ever.
Yeah.
The first 2-year-old to step off from a jet ski. I'm going, okay.
And it probably, you're probably like, I don't know if we can execute that as well again. Like, might be downhill from that one. So
I know. And he didn't have his life jacket on at the moment too, because we just got in the water and we were playing on the shore, and he's like, hey, do you want to come and get a couple of, like, we'll just tow you behind the ski. And I was like, all right. So he towed us behind. I'm like, Zenny, I think we've got to do a step off. The waves are perfect. It was 2 foot and just perfect for him. So I held on to him so tight though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Good dad. Well, thanks to everyone that wrote in questions for Jack Robinson. Robbo, it's now time for the final segment, lightning round. These are 10 questions that you've answered 4 times before. I have all your answers, so we'll see if anything's changed. First question. One board setup for the rest of your life: single fin, twin fin, thruster, quad bonzer, or finless. What do you choose?
Thruster. I don't want to surf a bonzer or a fish for the rest of my life. No way.
It's a hard opinion. I appreciate it. Coffee or tea?
Tea. Still.
Okay. This is consistent. Burrito or pizza?
Pizza.
All right, that's a change.
Pizza. Because last night, pizza. Yeah, growth.
There's some good pizza places on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, it's good, real good.
Yeah. I think one of the years I went there for the CS, I ate at Frank Jr.'s every night. I know it's not there anymore, which is really sad, but pizza's amazing there.
Yeah, they moved. There's a new one, Radici as well. He's making real good pizzas right now. So I went there last night and wow, it was good.
Yeah, no free ads on the podcast, but Radici's, hit us up. We'll be there.
Yeah, Radici, yep.
You mentioned you've been reading some books, but what's the last one you read?
Last one I read? Last one I finished was Ego is the Enemy, I'm pretty sure. Ryan Holiday. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Now I'm reading one where the light gets in. I think it's Ben Crow. I think that's I got given this book by Stan, my Red Bull boss. So he gifted us a few books, so it's pretty cool.
That's cool. Weirdly enough, Ego is the Enemy. That's the second time that's come up for me today. Someone else brought that up. So
interesting. There's a sign. You got to read the book.
Yeah, man. I'll hit you up for it when you finish. Best surf film ever.
There's been a lot of good ones, but I mean, probably. I've been watching Stranger Than Fiction. I've been watching a few parts of that lately. That was pretty good. So I'm gonna go with that. All my favorite surfers are in it. Oh, it froze. All right. Well, looks like Dave's computer died. So anyway, this has been a blast. I'm so stoked to come back on the lineup and looking forward to be back. Hopefully next time for a 6th episode. But I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Enjoy.